Hello and welcome back to the Southwestern Vehicle Auctions YouTube channel. You're joined by me, Owen, and today we're going to be looking at a selection of cars coming up in our Spring Classic Car Auction on the 25th of April 2024. This is the first preview of a few that we'll be doing. Today we're going to be looking at 5 of some of the early entries into the auction. So we're going to start with this one here, lot number 60, the Vanden Plas Princess 4 Litre. Now this car has come from the Isle of Wight and it is a show-winning car, quite literally a show-winning car. It comes with plenty of rosettes, awards, trophies. It's been incredibly well looked after, dry stored by the owner. Comes from a nice chap on the Isle of Wight, so he's looked after it very, very well indeed. And it looks fantastic, obviously in a period colour. On the body, it's fantastic. In the interior, it's also fantastic. It's just a very, very nice example of a big Farina, really. Not many of these come to market. They're quite a rare old thing. Obviously, being the 4 litre, it's got the biggest engine out of all of the Princess range. The 4 litre engine actually comes from Rolls-Royce. It's powered by a Rolls-Royce 4 litre. Very, very lovely car indeed. I think the market for big Farinas is really starting to come alive now. So yeah, lovely car. We've got an estimate of 10 to 12,500 pounds, and I'd be really surprised if it doesn't make that, or maybe even a little bit more, because this one is a lovely, lovely thing. Moving on. We've got a Daimler Sovereign. Now, normally this would be a Daimler Sovereign 420 or 4.2, but this one's a Daimler Sovereign 3.8 because it's got the 3.8 litre engine from a Jaguar S-Type. Now, the vendor bought this car in bits, really. Not quite in bits, but it needed some recommissioning work, and it needed rubbers and that sort of thing to really finish it off. When he bought it, he wasn't aware it had the 3.8 in. It later came to his mind that it had got the 3.8, and he'd later been told that, sorry. So yeah, it's got a 3.8 from an S-Type in, but I don't think that's a major issue. Obviously, it's finished in lovely opalescent blue, which I think sets the car off fantastically. It's a colour that's commonly seen on the E-Type, and I think it looks fantastic on this car as well. Really sets it off nicely, goes up well against the bright work, and it quite nicely contrasts the darker interior that's inside. Lovely, lovely car. Like I say, it's the chap who's had it has done plenty of recommissioning work to it to bring it up to the standard it is today. You can see this one driving, as you can with all the cars that are here. If you go to the vehicles listing, we now provide a short little 30-second clip of it driving down to the bottom of our driveway on our yard, where it gets into about second, possibly even third gear, and then comes back up again. So you can hear it running, you can see it driving. So yeah, you can see all of them driving. This one specifically drives lovely. We've got an estimate on it 7,500 to 8,500 pounds, and to be quite honest with you, I think for a big Daimler like this, that is good money, really. I think you'd struggle to pick one up for that sort of price anywhere else, even with the 3.8 in. Moving on from a big old car like this one, we're moving on to, sticking with the same sort of era, but moving on to a very much a smaller car. Your little Austin 1300 here, 1971. Now this one comes to us at no reserve, funnily enough, which is quite a nice surprise. We always like to take stuff in at no reserve. This car is actually very, very nice. Obviously finished in beige with a white roof, tan interior. It's had plenty of things done to it as well. The vendor's not had it long, but he's done some work to it. Got reconditioned starter motor, dynamo, wiper motor, had a new battery in it. Obviously it's had a self-evident respray at some point or another. Yeah, lovely, lovely example. Obviously the 1300s had the 1275 in, which is commonly used in the minis and the midgets as well. Obviously not quite as poked up performance wise, but still got the 1275 in. This is a lovely little example. I think it'll be a great little starter classic for somebody, really, if you can get it cheap. I wouldn't be surprised to see it roll onto some good figures though, because it is a lovely example. Obviously, like I say, this one's to be sold at no reserve. And if you're looking for a starter classic, then this may be the one for you. Moving on to something that's equally as small, but much older. We've got a 1939 MG TA Midget. Now this car comes from a guy that is local to us, and he's got this car as well as one of the other midgets in the sale as well. Now he's selling because he's an elderly gentleman, and he's looking to move the cars on because he doesn't drive them anymore, and he needs the space in the garage. So they've come to us. We're going to see what we can do with them. This one is a very nice example. It's got nice patina about it. Obviously it's obviously had a previous restoration at some time or another. which is evident on the paint, but at the same time the paint doesn't look brand new, which is always quite a nice thing on these pre-war cars. You don't want it to look like it's just rolled out of the showroom. You want a bit of patina, and this one's got exactly that. Interior is exactly the same. If you come and have a look, the interior in this car is very, very nice. Obviously it's got the matching red seats inside, which is nice. No real damage to them, but you can see they're sort of a little bit worn, and it's the same with the dashboard as well. It doesn't look brand new, but it's just got that used effect, which is always quite nice on the pre-war cars. Now we've got an estimate on this one of £18,000 to £20,000, and to be quite honest with you, I think that's a going rate for an MG TA. You know, especially in this sort of condition, you know, with the history that it's got, it is a lovely, lovely car. Moving on to the final car in this video, something much different actually, but going back to the 70s, we've got a Triumph Stag, 1976. Now this car has been owned by the vendor for the last 20 years, which is always good to have a long ownership car in. He bought it as a rolling shell with no windows, you know, no rubbers, nothing like that, literally just a rolling shell of a Stag. Back sort of 21 years ago, and he's completely rebuilt this car pretty much from scratch really. It's got upgrades on it like the Weber carbs. It's also got a uprated ZF automatic gearbox as well. So yeah, a lovely example. It's got the hard top. It's also got the soft top underneath, which I'm told by the vendor that it is in exceptional condition. Obviously these Stags are powered by a lovely V8 engine, which you'll be able to hear right now. As you can hear there, a lovely soundtrack to this Triumph Stag. Lovely red finish on it, beautiful tan interior, which counters it quite nicely. I think this would be a lovely little car to pick up just in time for the summer. Take the hard top off, drop the soft top down, and you can be cruising down sandbanks or somewhere local to us in the sunshine as much as you like. And we've got an estimate on this one of £7,500 to £8,500, which I think for a Stag is good money. Wouldn't be surprised to see it beat its estimate, but yeah, exceptional example of a Stag, and I hope that it does well in the auction. That brings us to the end of today's video. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks with another preview. We'll be looking at 5 more cars coming up in our spring classic car auction. If you have a car that you would like to enter, then please do get in touch. You can email us at classics@swva.co.uk or give us a ring on 01202 745 466. We'll be more than happy to chat to you and give you a valuation on your car as well. Valuations are free of charge, so we're more than happy to do that. Thank you very much for watching this video again. I really appreciate you taking the time to take a look at it, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.